There it is, brilliant. Okay, guys, so I'm going to do this live on advocacy. We've been advertising advocacy courses, and there's been a lot of questions, a lot of messages sent. So what I thought was I'd try and address that in this video here now. So first of all, what is advocacy? Advocacy, guys, is what we do in everyday life, okay? So as mothers, carers, parents, brothers, sisters, uncles, friends, we look out for each other. We look out for each other. We help each other in certain situations. And, we've always got somebody to turn to. And when we turn to that person does what we call advocating for us, all right? So the whole point of this training, advocacy, rights and representation, is to show you guys that we're all advocates. All right, we're all advocates for ourselves. So not only are we advocates, but it's in law that we're entitled to an advocate. It's in law that we can be an advocate, and it's a really empowering position. So the whole point of this is to empower, is to show you guys that rather than being an everyday person today, you can go into that meeting with a title as the advocate. All right, it's really important and it's very empowering, guys. So that is what advocacy is. This is the whole point of the training, is to show you guys you've actually got far more power in that situation than you think. And when you know where it says in law this stuff, when you know which policies to access, then you can go into these situations and educate those people in those situations that you're legally entitled to be here. All right, it helps with participation. So advocacy, that's what it is. We're just advocating. Rights, we have rights. We're going to be working mostly under Human Rights Act and Children's Rights. You don't have to know this stuff. The whole point of this training is to show you don't need to know all of this stuff. Advocacy, this advocacy training is to empower you, to make you know you've got this power, to make you understand you have this power. And then there's little exercises teaching us not to be judgmental, how to act in certain situations, the do's and don'ts of advocacy. What you're entitled to do, what you're not entitled to do, the best way to perform. And it's about giving people a full participation in what's happening around them. So why are we doing this advocacy? Well, it's simple, guys. There's issues in our society. A lot of us are doing this advocacy for the sex education, but advocacy is for everyday life. Your housing, your work, schools, disabilities. Advocacy is applied to everyday life. So the training that takes place is going to be 3 modules on advocacy, okay? So you learn what advocacy is, the different types of advocacy, and you'll understand that you're an advocate in everyday life, right? And like I said, you'll adopt skills then, showing you how to be non-judgmental, how to respond in certain situations, all right? It's empowering. It's empowering, it is. It gives people the confidence to stand up for themselves, and they can participate fully in things that matter to them. So the first 3 modules is on advocacy, just advocacy. Showing you how to respond in everyday life, showing you how to go from being the ordinary person to the advocate. Okay, showing you how to carry that title. It's giving you that little bit more clout. It's giving you that reassurance, all right? So this is to empower people in everyday life, in every situation. That's what the whole scope of this exercise is about. So even if you're not fighting RSE, or you're not fighting any causes that we are fighting, this is a good skill to have for yourself anyway, right? It is a good, it's good to understand the system. It's good to understand that these policies are there to support you, because very often the people that you're in the office with or you come across, they won't even know these policies exist anyway, and it wouldn't hurt for you to just have it printed off and put in the drawer or whatever. So that's why we're doing it, is to empower people in everyday life. Obviously, we do have another agenda. We are doing it because we need to empower people in the education establishment. So that's empowering the parents, the carers, the family members, and the children, right? So the first 3 modules are on advocacy. Then there's the optional module then on applying advocacy to RSE, applying advocacy to local authority, and applying advocacy to elective home education. Those will be optional at the end, all right? So this is a mass empowerment exercise. It takes place over 4 weeks, and we're looking at about 2 sessions a week of 2 hours long. So there's morning sessions, day sessions, and there's also evening sessions. There's 2 types of training taking place. We're training people to be an advocate. We're training people how to advocate. We're training people to train people. All right, so there's 2 different processes going on here. We're training people to train people. Now, you don't just get 1 shot of this. You can join this as many times as you want, all right? So twice a week, 2-hour slots, either in the days or in the evenings, small groups of about 10 to 12 maximum. It sounds slow. It sounds like, it's going to take a while. It's not. Because don't forget, we're training people to do the training. What we're going to be doing here in Wales then, we're going to be appointing local advocates. So we will hopefully have a few advocates in each local authority that can help the people there. All right, we're really getting organised here now. We've had messages from people from England and Scotland asking, can they take place with in this? Is this for them? Yes, it is. The only issue with this, this is not a universal thing. What complicates this is the devolution of powers. So slightly different legislation in each country, but they all say the same thing anyway, all right? Slightly different policies in each country, but they all say the same thing anyway. So this is why it's a little bit more tricky for us, because we cannot say to the people from England, yeah, jump on this Zoom now, because we are talking about policies in Wales. Now, I can't give you policies in Wales for you to take into school in England. So that's the only thing that complicates it, right? Advocacy itself is universal. It's all universal. It's just the little policies and legislation within those little fields, and like the education, the home education and things like that, that will slightly differ. They'll mean the same things, they'll just come out of different documents, that's all, right? So that's the only difference there with this training. Yes, you can do it. Anybody in the UK can take part in this, and I urge everybody in the UK to start training their friends, their peers. This is an empowerment exercise now. Only we at the bottom can change things. And unless we are keeping them busy, unless we know how to respond and how not to respond, we're not going to get far very quick, are we? So if we upskill people and we show people that you was always an advocate anyway, you just needed to say this beforehand. You just needed to do this at that point. You carry far more power, and you do get listened to a lot more in those situations. Like I said, not everybody you're dealing with is going to know you're entitled to an advocate anyway. Not everybody on this course is going to know they've been an advocate every day of their adult lives. So we all advocate in different ways. It's just the words. It's the words that change things. That's all. So this is it. This is us taking you, showing you what actions you do in everyday life, giving you words and titles for those actions, which then give you power in public office, because the legislation is on the side of the person. Should be person-led. Everything is person-led. The advocate is there to ensure full participation. See, it's just words. It's long words. That's all it is, right? It's not rocket science. It is simple. If I can do it, anyone can do it. All right, guys? It's not confusing. If you do find it confusing, you can do it more times again. So the way to get involved in this is you have to email admin@publicchildprotectionwales.org. All right? If you can do that, email, and if you can tell us which country you're in, we can try and get everyone organised then. People of England, Ireland and Scotland, we urge you all to do the same. Get organised, get yourselves a local advocate within your local authority. Here in Wales, we only have 22 local authorities, so we are fortunate enough that we do have access to all 22 local authorities through our phones. So that is beneficial there, right? I know it's a bit more difficult in the larger countries, you know, and these things do take time as well. We need to start small. Start small, all right? Like I said, I urge you all to start doing this training yourselves, teaching the people in your area. This training can take place online or in person. We are going to be doing it online. We just simply want to get this rippling, all right? We need a ripple effect. So Dr. Anna Loutfie as well, she has kindly agreed that she's going to make sure she's going to overlook anything that we put for England. She's going to make sure that's spot on, all right? Didn't catch the email address. Yeah, I'll say it again now. So she's going to make sure that we've got everything spot on for you. If there's anything she thinks you guys should know, she's going to inform us of that and we can pass it on. It has to be a ripple effect, right, guys? It has to spread out. So I know a lot of people are messaging and asking questions, but you're better off emailing, guys. admin@publicchildprotectionwales.org. I will edit this post with that email address, but the thing is, it kind of censors things then. But I will, or you can just go on the website, publicchildprotectionwales.org, and fill in a contact form there. Tell us which country you're in so we can organise things, and let us know if days or evenings would be better for you. If we advertise a session that is not for you, don't worry. Like I said, this is not just me doing it. This is people are being trained to train others. So there's going to be different dates, different groups from different places, all right? This is, we really are getting the ball rolling here. So like I said, I urge you all to have a look. Even if you don't get it the first time, you can do it the second time. This is an empowerment exercise. Our priority is first and foremost to empower the individual. Show the individual that they can act formally in these settings. You know, you are not inferior, you are an equal, and in actual fact in some cases you would be superior because the law sides with you. It's just sometimes these professionals do not know that. All right, we will provide you with everything you need, all the links and guidance that you need. When we first send the links out, when you are on a session, on a course, you will receive a Word document with a quick introduction. There'll be lots of links on there, and there'll be the Zoom link which you will use every time to get on. Do not become overwhelmed with all of those links, all right? That's what happens. This is why people lose confidence, is because they go out there to defend themselves. They will look something up and it's written in a way, or this document is so big they think they're out to their depth. It is not like that. Our job is to break it down for you. Break this down and build you up. That's what this is about, okay? We need to be there for our neighbours. So we are interested in hearing people who think they could deliver this training. We're interested in hearing from people who are connected with other groups who could do it in person. And we're obviously interested in hearing from people who want to go out there and empower themselves. So, like I said, the first 3 weeks, Module 1, Module 2, Module 3 are all going to be on advocacy, which can be applied to all aspects of your life, all right? All aspects of everyday living. Everybody can benefit from that, all right? We can all benefit from that anyway. You don't have to carry on then and do the advocacy applied to RSE, an advocacy applied to elective home education, an advocacy applied to local authority. You don't have to do any of those things, all right? You don't have to do the advocacy. But what I'm saying is the advocacy is the most important thing. I don't want you to think you have to be fighting RSE to do this advocacy, all right? That is not a condition of this. The whole point of this is simply to empower individuals in everyday life, that's all. And once we've got that, once we've nailed that empowerment, then we'll show you then how to apply it in the education system in England, Wales and Ireland eventually. But as you know, guys, this is work in progress. We do not have on file the presentations for England, Ireland, Scotland and Wales. We don't have them. Wales is almost finished. Scotland is work in progress. England is work in progress. Scotland Island will come after that again. So if there's anybody out there who are already aware of the policies and processes in Ireland, England and Scotland, let's team up. Let's or even if you wanted to do the final PowerPoint to go with this training, let's share resources. Let's get it out there and let's empower our people. This will only happen if we come together, won't it? You know? So I do hope I've answered your questions. I do hope I've kind of encouraged you all to get on board. It's not rocket science. It is not rocket science. I left school with no qualifications. I'm just a kid from the streets, homeless on and off, youth offending team. Trust me, this is not rocket science. I can barely use a laptop. I can barely use a handset. That's why I got two. Because I got some apps on there, and there's only a SIM card in one. Right? So if I can do this, you guys can do it too. You just need to be shown your powers. You need to know your powers, and whatever you need, right? Whatever you need, there'll be ongoing support. Your own situations come back to us and tailor this training to what you need in everyday life, okay? I think I'm going to leave it at that now, guys. Yeah, I'm not going to go on any longer. That's all I wanted to say. That is pretty much the gist of this training, and I do hope you all just get on board. Just get on board, get out there, get training each other, guys. You know, the system is not going to change unless us people at the bottom know our rights and know how to navigate ourselves through the system and able to make that positive change. So thank you all for watching. I really appreciate the time, and I hope that answered all your questions. Bye, guys.